what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit, and in today's video, I want to answer 7 common questions for brand new Amazon sellers who are just getting started. I know how overwhelming it can feel when you start selling on Amazon. There's so many questions you have, there's softwares, there's tools, there's all these processes and systems you have to learn about. So I hope this video can help you out. If you're new to my channel, my name's Steve. I've been selling on Amazon for over 10 years. In the last year alone, I've sold over $750,000. I earn a full-time income selling on Amazon, and I love helping Amazon sellers and resellers on my channel to be able to build either a side income or even go full-time. So you are in the right place. So let's dive into the first question. What plan should you choose when you're setting up your Amazon account? So there's 2 plans. There's a free plan, which doesn't cost you a penny, and then there's a professional plan, which is $39.99 per month. Now you're probably thinking, I'm gonna go with the free plan, but there's some downsides to choosing the free plan versus the professional plan. With the free plan, every single time you sell an item, you're gonna pay an additional $1 fee, whereas if you had the professional plan, you wouldn't have to pay that fee. Now, the math really starts to make sense when you sell over 40 items, because if you sell less than 40 items, you're actually losing money having the pro plan versus the free plan. But another reason why I would actually recommend the pro plan over the free plan is because you're going to be able to integrate with scanning softwares like Scout IQ or Scoutly. These are softwares that you're going to download on your phone, and you're going to hook up a barcode scanner through Bluetooth on your phone, and you're going to be able to go out to thrift stores and scan the barcodes of products like books and DVDs and CDs, and then those softwares are going to tell you how much money you can sell those items for and how much money you can make. So if you have the free plan, Amazon will not let you integrate with those softwares. So that's another reason why I would choose the pro plan. There's a bunch of other benefits of having the $39.99 a month pro plan, but one of the big benefits is your ability to get ungated in specific brands or categories. So say, for example, you wanted to sell DVDs. You would have to go to a supplier such as christianbook.com. You would have to buy 10 of a product, get that invoice, and then submit it to Amazon to get ungated to sell that brand or product category. If you have the free plan, you're not going to be able to do that. So again, that's another big reason to have the professional $39.99 per month plan. So the next big question is, what products should I start selling on Amazon? Maybe you're brand spanking new and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what to sell. Should I start with DVDs or office supplies? Maybe I should sell tools or toys. Like, where do I start? So for every single beginner, I have the same answer. Start selling books. Yes, physical books. Why? Most people don't think they're worth money, so they sell them dirt cheap. They're easy to list. They're easy to ship. The profit margins are really high, and there's an abundance of them at places like thrift stores. If you're a brand new seller, I would highly recommend walking into your local Goodwill, going to your Savers if you're on the East Coast. Maybe you have mom and pop thrift stores that you can visit. Library sales, garage sales, books are one of the best categories to get started with, and most books you're not going to be gated or restricted on. So essentially, being gated or restricted means you can't sell the product. And like I explained earlier, sometimes Amazon will require you to buy from a vetted distributor, provide an invoice, and get ungated. When it comes to books, most books you're not going to have to get ungated for, which is another great reason why I recommend beginner sellers start with books. Now, some books that you scan are going to say requires approval. And there's a difference between requires approval and being gated. Again, being gated means you need to get an invoice from a distributor and provide it to Amazon. When a book says requires approval, you're not gated. Essentially, you just have to go in for that specific product, click a button, and it'll typically auto approve you to be able to sell that product. Now, another question I get all the time from new Amazon sellers is, Steve, should I start MF or FBA? Now, if you're not sure what that means, MF stands for Merchant Fulfilled. So if you're selling on eBay, you're essentially a merchant, right? You're fulfilling all your products. And the same is true on Amazon. There's 2 ways you could sell on Amazon, MF or FBA. MF essentially means you go out to a library sale or a thrift store, you buy a book, you bring it home, you list it on Amazon, but then you're going to store it at your house. Maybe you're going to have a little bookshelf or a little inventory area, and you're going to store it at your house. When the product sells, you're then going to pick it out of your bookshelf or your inventory. You're going to label it, you're going to list it, you're going to ship it to the customer, you're going to provide customer service, you're going to deal with everything from A to Z, similar to an eBay seller. That's merchant fulfilled on Amazon. Now, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon, and this is one of the best ways to sell on Amazon. This is exactly how I do it. When you're selling FBA, you're not selling like an eBay seller. You're not selling like a merchant fulfilled seller. Essentially, when you go out to a thrift store, a library sale, or wherever you source your products, you're going to buy those items, you're going to bring them home, you're going to list them up, but then you're going to put them all in a box or multiple boxes, and you're going to ship them to Amazon FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. Once all those boxes get to the Amazon warehouses, they're going to then pick everything out of the boxes and they're going to store all those products at their warehouse. There's hundreds of Amazon fulfillment centers all over the country, and Amazon will tell you which one to ship it to. And if you're thinking, Steve, that's going to be really expensive to ship all those products out to Amazon, that's not true. With Amazon's partner carrier discount, it's actually really cheap. And many times it's only maybe 30, 40, 50 cents to ship out an individual item. I could ship out a whole box of products, maybe 40, 50 pounds, and it might only cost me $8, $9, $10. It's really inexpensive. I recommend for most people to sell FBA. And the reason is you could really leverage your time and you could have a lot more freedom in your life and in your business. Because again, if you're going to be a merchant fulfilled seller, you're like an eBay seller. You're grinding all the time. You're storing the products, you're answering emails, you're responding to customers, you're dealing with refunds, you're shipping out items one by one by one. It's a daily grind. Whereas with FBA, you put everything in the box, you ship it to them, and then you wipe your hands clean and you get paid. Now, the fees are a little bit higher with FBA compared to merchant fulfilled, but you can also sell your items for a higher price because through FBA, customers are purchasing products through the Prime program. And since there's 2-day shipping, hassle-free returns, customers are willing to pay more money for FBA versus MF. So honestly, it kind of just wipes things out clear. So honestly, I don't really feel having to pay more in fees because again, I'm selling the items for a higher profit and a higher price ultimately. Now, there are some benefits to being a merchant fulfilled seller, such as charging restocking fees, having more control over your inventory. Sometimes if you ship products to FBA, they could get lost. Again, there's some downsides to FBA. There's storage fees. Sometimes they could lose shipments. Like I said, if you have an issue with a product and it hits the warehouse and you got to get shipped back to you, it does cost money. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But again, for most people, I would say go FBA. If you are selling bigger, heavier products, and maybe products that you don't want to have to spend money for to ship it to FBA, you could certainly merchant fulfill. And I have plenty of friends who earn a full-time income merchant fulfilling. But at the end of the day, this is your life, this is your business, and you have to choose what's best for you. But again, I would say FBA for most people. So you're headed to your first thrift store. You're brand new. Maybe you've downloaded the app Scout IQ or Scoutly, which are the two best apps in my opinion. Also, Seller Amp is a great app as well. So those are the three apps that I would recommend. Do some research on that. I can make another video in the future breaking down the pros and cons of each. But now that you have an app, let's just say you chose Scout IQ, you're going to have to get a barcode scanner to be able to scan product. So the barcode scanner that I use is called a Natamoo scanner, and I'll put the picture on the screen. You can go to rakeandprofit.com/scanner to check that out. There's a whole bunch of them. Honestly, you don't have to use the one that I'm using. There's a whole bunch of them out there. I think this scanner is about $50. But you just need a scanner. Honestly, go to Amazon and just type in barcode scanner for Amazon sellers. There's going to be a whole bunch of them that pop up. And the way that this works is you're going to turn the Bluetooth on within your phone. You're going to turn on your scanner, your actual physical scanner, and then you're going to pair the two together. The scanner with your smartphone. You're going to open up your app, maybe Scout IQ, Scoutly, Seller Amp, whatever you choose. And then every single time you scan a barcode, it's going to pull back all the information for you, telling you how much the item is selling for. You can put in your buy cost. You can see your profit, how long the product's going to take to sell through either sales rank or eScore, which is a metric that Scout IQ uses that essentially will share with you how many times that product has sold within a 6-month period. So I recommend the Natamoo, but there's a whole bunch of other scanners out there. Really, the key at the end of the day is to set up your scanner, get your scanning app, Scout IQ, Seller Amp, Scoutly, whatever one you choose. Again, I'll do a video in the future, and scan as many products as possible. The more products that you scan, the more money you're going to make. Point blank, period. So you've got yourself a scanner, but you're thinking, Steve, where do I go? I know you've mentioned thrift stores. You've mentioned library sales. Is there any other places I can go to be able to find books or other products? So absolutely, there's a bunch of other ways that you can start sourcing other than thrift stores and library sales. You can go to garage sales. You can do local pickups on Facebook Marketplace. You can go to consignment stores, pawn shops. You could connect with your friends and family and let them know, hey, I started an Amazon book business. Do you have any books that you don't want or you want to get rid of? And believe it or not, a lot of people will have a ton of books that they wish somebody would take, but they're too lazy to go drop them off at the thrift store. One of the secret ways that I source a lot of books and DVDs and other products is eBay to Amazon. Now, this is a bit more advanced because you're going to be paying a higher price for a book on eBay versus a thrift store. But if you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to be going to thrift stores all the time. I don't want to be going to garage sales and library sales. Like my mom, who I helped get started selling on Amazon over 10 years ago, at one point she had reconstructive surgery on her knee and she couldn't source anymore. She started buying items on eBay. She started buying items on Amazon that you could flip from those platforms to Amazon. Again, it's a bit more advanced. And if you guys want a video on this in the future, I'm happy to do some step-by-step tutorials sharing how you could source online. It's called online arbitrage. Again, you're going to pay more money. It's a bit more advanced, but those are some of the ways that you can source books and other products all day long. So at the end of the day, if you want to make money selling on Amazon, first step is you have to get started. You have to set up your account. Again, I would recommend getting the pro account. There's a lot of different products that you can sell. I recommend starting with books. I think the next best step is DVDs and CDs. So I love the media category. After that, you can start to branch out into toys, video games, board games, electronics. There's so many opportunities. But again, you've got to set up your account. You've got to get your scanning app. Again, I mentioned the three, Scout IQ, Scout Lead, or Seller Amp. Start with one of them. Get your barcode scanner. Make sure if you're restricted in any category like DVDs or CDs, you get Ungated because you want to have the biggest opportunity to source products. But then you've got to hit the ground running. The more you scan, the more money you're going to make. I wouldn't overthink merchant fulfilled versus FBA. I think you should follow your gut, follow your heart. But again, I would say 99% of people should start with FBA because I know you don't want a job. You do want to make money, but you also want your freedom. I also wouldn't overthink sourcing. I would choose one place to start. I recommend thrift stores. I think going to your local Goodwill, Savers, Salvation Army is probably the best place to start. Now, keep in mind, there are going to be other people doing this. You're not the only one who's going to be out there scanning books, scanning barcodes, and trying to make money. But the reality is there's hundreds of thousands of products that are coming through these thrift stores every single day. So experiment going at different times, different days. But when that brand new cart of books comes rolling out at your local Goodwill, you attack it because the new inventory is typically where the money is. Get in a habit of going out and sourcing on a regular basis because the more time you spend sourcing and the more scans that you put in, scanning at the thrift store, trying to find profitable products, the more items that you're going to be able to buy. The more items you buy and then ultimately list and ship on Amazon, the more money you're going to make. So if you have a goal of making $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, just know at the end of the day, it's all up to you. You can do it, but you have to put in your time. You have to put in your time sourcing. You have to put in your time listing. You have to put in your time shipping. The more time that you put into this business, the more money you're going to make. Also, you've got to become creative over time as well, because you might notice thrift stores aren't worth it for you. Every time you go in there, you might see a million competitors and you might say to yourself, Steve, this is a bunch of BS. There's no way I could build a business doing this. Again, creativity, thrift stores, library sales, eBay to Amazon, Amazon to Amazon, consignment stores, pawn shops. There's so many different ways that you can do this. Another tip is putting out advertisements on a website called Nextdoor. On Nextdoor, you can put out ads for free book pickups. And this is the way that I helped my girlfriend get started when we were living in Miami. She put out a bunch of ads for free on the website Nextdoor, and people started responding to her with books that they wanted to get rid of. All she had to do was go to these people's houses, pick up the books, and then she sold them on Amazon. Now, be careful going to strangers' houses. Of course, go with a friend. Make sure you're safe. But this is a great way to be able to get free product. And again, most people just want to get rid of these items, but they're too lazy to drop them off at the thrift store. So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions about getting started selling on Amazon or growing your Amazon account, your Amazon store, feel free to drop a comment down below. I love making these videos, helping you guys to be able to build a side income selling on Amazon. I appreciate you all. Be sure to like and follow if you enjoyed this video. And with that being said, much love. Bye.